Good evening and welcome to Trending Tonight, the only show on primetime television where we care to explain the news behind the trend. I'm Sanket Upadhyay. Summons have been issued to Bollywood A-listers now as far as a probe being conducted by the Narcotics Control Bureau is concerned in relation with a drug bust and its connection with the death of superstar Sushant Singh Rajput. Remember, close to 19 people are already arrested by the NCB. Now their net widening. They believe that they've got evidence that certain other celebrities could also be involved as far as consumption of drugs is concerned and in a larger drug racket, which according to them and many others is a malaise in the Bollywood film industry which needs to be eliminated or erased. But how exactly should this questioning, as of now, the summons have been issued to 4 or 5 celebrities. They include Deepika, Sara Ali Khan, Deepika Padukone, by the way, all A-listers, Sara Ali Khan, Shraddha Kapoor, Rakul Preet, all have been summoned. Questioning is going to take place as far as the drug chats are concerned. But how should one actually look at this? And that's going to be the important question that we'll ask. This is a drug cleanup, or as some people are alleging, some sort of a deflection strategy. That before people start asking questions of the government on certain issues, you choose to have this issue being circulated and spoken about very publicly, because these are Bollywood A-listers, they will be spoken about. Also on the show, in fact, just immediately after this presentation, within a matter of minutes, we shall be speaking to the lawyer of Rhea Chakraborty. He's spoken to NDTV and has said that he will go after everyone who are part of this media trial. He says that even this summon is part of that very media trial. So let's first introduce Mr. Satish Maneshinde and try to ask him what he actually thinks. Mr. Maneshinde, thank you so much for speaking to NDTV. My first question to you is, summons have been now issued to A-listers in Bollywood. What do you make of this?
Well, it's a very difficult question that somebody is asking me, and NCB has been brought into this picture by the central government at the instance of the ED. Initially, the Mumbai police got into investigation to investigate the death of Sushant Singh Rajput. Some of the parents are not satisfied, so they filed a complaint at the Bihar police station. The then DG of Bihar police got into the action, went on the TV, called my client number of names, and ultimately the investigation was transferred to CBI. Supreme Court intervened at our instance, and then he gave a judgment. I hope someday a larger bench will look into this judgment and see the veracity of this judgment, because we accept it as it is, not because we accept the point of law, but since it's a dictate of the Supreme Court, we have to accept it. Now, thereafter, the CBI got into the picture. They found nothing against Rhea. The ED came in. ED also found nothing. ED subsequently passed on some information in the form of some messages which were exchanged by Rhea with some people. And then the NCB has come into the picture. Surprisingly, a summons, which is normally issued and served by a peon of the NCB, was taken personally by the joint director of the NCB and served at 8:30 in the morning at the residence of Rhea. So then the entire drama has started. So far, about 16 to 20 people have been arrested. They have found small quantities from almost all of them except 2. The other 2 are not connected with Rhea or any of the other people arrested. And then Jaya was questioned because she's supposed to have advised Sushant Singh Rajput to consume CBD oil, which is oil extract from the leaves of ganja leaves of the weed, marijuana. And on that basis, the CBI questioned her as well as the NCB questioned her. So ultimately, Rhea told them that it's not a narcotic substance. That's how I agreed to its consumption by Sushant Singh Rajput. Then Jaya was questioned. Nothing happened in that case because we took up a stand that it's not a narcotic substance. Subsequently, from the conversation that Jaya has had with a number of people in the Bollywood, various summons have been issued to various people. And at worst, it can make out a case of consumption by those people sometime in 2017, even if it is accepted, those messages exchanged on the mobile are evidence. So they are investigating a case which is punishable with 1 year, which according to me, according to the law and according to section 468 of the CRPC, it's punishable with 1 year under the Narcotic Act, NDPS Act. So therefore, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any court to take cognizance of such an offense. And if the person who is consumed admits to the consumption, and she can always go under Section 64 and claim immunity of having, rehab and other facilities done. So I don't know what the NCB is doing. NCB is supposed to have been set up to intercept, to curb illicit narcotics trafficking, illicit trafficking across the states and across international borders. Instead of doing that, they are going on a witch hunt of Rhea as well as other people, which is deplorable.
All right, Mr. Maneshinde, Rhea's alleged chats and messages form the basis of this these summons, which means that these messages allegedly sent by Rhea and allegedly being sent by these celebrities are now out in the public domain. And this constitutes once again the same old point that we were talking about of a media trial taking place. Would you consider taking some sort of legal recourse this time around as well, just like you did the last time?
Well, I complained to the Honorable Supreme Court that this is a media trial happening. We put it in writing. There has been no reference to our arguments in that judgment. Rhea, let her come out. Let her be free from all this. I'm going to go after every person who has, been responsible for her hounding as well as, distributing material which is personal in nature and private in nature. And to say the least, I blame the investigating agencies who ought to pull up their socks and do their duty instead of getting into these publicity stunts. Prove your case in the court, not through media.
All right, prove your case in court, not through the media, is the message of Satish Maneshinde. Thank you so much for joining us. And now let's introduce our next newsmaker. He's a newsmaker today because he has taken voluntary retirement and is seen to be the architect as far as the investigation or the expediting of the investigation in this case is concerned. We have the former DGP of Bihar, Mr. Gupteshwar Pandey, with us. Mr. Pandey, you're being referred today as the Robin Hood of Bihar in a music video of which you are a part of. I want to start off by asking you first, what do you make of these summons that are being issued in the drug matter by the NCB? This was never part of your original investigation of the Bihar government, of the Bihar police.
Tell me honestly, I have not been following that case now. Once the case was taken over by the CBI, I stopped following it. So I don't have that much detail which you have, or I was hearing Mr. Maneshinde, who is a very renowned advocate. He is fully aware of all the developments, all the facts of the case and all the twist and turn of the case, how it is going and what is happening. I don't have any such detail. I am telling you, whatever news I have, that is through media only, and I am not in a position. I don't have time to watch TV and go through newspaper also, frankly speaking. So I don't have those details. I know this much only, that a case was registered on 25th of July here, and one day later, on 7th of July, a team of 4 officers was sent to Mumbai, and they didn't get any cooperation. Mumbai police was not sharing any information with them. They didn't allow to investigate. And then for better coordination, on the IPS officer was sent, Mr. Binay Tubari, who is city SP over here. He was posted. He was sent to Mumbai for better coordination with officers over there and for leading the investigation. But the day he landed over there, he was got detained.
Mr. Pandey, you mentioned this earlier. We are. Yes, absolutely. It was handed over to the CBI. My question is different. During your probe, at any point, see, the Bihar police started investigating abetment to suicide and also a financial fraud angle. Never was a drugs racket part of your original investigation. I want to ask you this question. You're a very seasoned cop. Can you tell us, at any point did you feel that this is what the course of the investigation is going to take? And how is this investigation of the Narcotics Control Bureau have to do with anything in delivering justice to Sushant Singh Rajput?
It has. I personally believe it has. But I'm telling you very frankly, how many days we got for investigation? When my team landed over there, we had just 3-4 days. 2 days, nobody met them. They could not, collect any information. They could not, only within 3-4 days, whatever they could do, they did. And when I sent one senior officer, what happened? That I don't want to repeat that story. So we have merely 4-5 days for the investigation. And during this, whatever evidence related to this death of late Sushant has been collected, all those details has been given to, handed over to CBI for further investigation. And I cannot, disclose all those details. Sure. This is very unprofessional. So I can't share those information, what kind of evidences we did. But yes, of course.
No, unprofessional while you are in service.
Drug angle is concerned.
But now you are not in service.
We couldn't do much. No, I am concerned, very much concerned. But I am telling you what I am concerned that justice must be dealt with to Sushant. I am concerned about this, but investigation.
And you feel that this drugs angle has a lot to do with the original probe?
CBI. Investigation is being done by the CBI, and NCBG has started investigation in a different issue. Okay. But you cannot say at this moment that
my final question to you, Mr. Pandey.
Between the drug racket and suicide, you never know. Connection.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You never know. Yes. You never know. I agree with you, and the investigation is going to reveal. But the CBI, these investigations are not coming from the CBI, they're coming from the NCB. Are they linked? Yes, only time will tell. Now, a question or two about you, Mr. Pandey. Mr. Pandey, now a question about you. Robin Hood, DGP Robin Hood Pandey, we've seen your music video. Do you think that, and these are a lot of allegations against you personally, it's not a polite question, but I still want to ask it nonetheless.
No, I don't have any problem.
Do you think that this matter...
No problem.
Do you think, Mr. Pandey, that this matter has served some... No, not hounding you, just asking you questions which you may or may not like. But these questions have to be asked. Do you think that this matter of Sushant Singh Rajput and the way the Bihar police under your leadership handled it served a political purpose of which you were a part? And now that you have taken voluntary retirement, can we see you in an avatar where you will be quote-unquote rewarded?
I have understood your question. Kindly listen to me. What I did as DGP, I'm telling you. And whatever I did, you prove me. A case was registered in Patna. There were a lot of debate in TV, lot of retired judges and, important advocates of Honorable Supreme Court, Honorable High Court, and so many experts. And they have debated in depth. So many debates in various TV channels, and most of them were in favor of Mumbai police, that Patna police should not have registered a case, they don't have any jurisdiction, And even if the case was registered, it should have been treated as zero FIR and should have been sent to Mumbai police for further investigation. This was the general opinion, I'm telling you. Very few people are in our support. But I believe that Sushant, there's nobody, only two members in his family, Sushant and his father. His 74 years old ailing father who is suffering from various kind of diseases. Now, he lives permanently here in Patna, and because in the complaint which was given to Patna police by Sushant's father, there was a money trail and there was a criminal misappropriation of property, criminal breach of trust. All those things were there. Now you tell me, who is the Sushant's father had lost his mother long back. Sushant is not married, so he doesn't have a family. So only two members, Sushant as a father, Sushant is no more. So who is the natural heir of Sushant's property? Obviously his father, and there is a money trail. So partial cause of action is here in Patna also. On this basis, I am not an expert in law. I must tell you, I must admit it. I am not an expert like Mr. Maneshinde. He's a very renowned advocate. And others. You people
No, Mr. Pandey, my question was different. My question was different.
It's okay.
You know,
I am answering you.
Mr. Pandey, see, you're explaining, see, this is the beauty of someone who has his way with words, but my question was very pointed, Mr. Pandey. You know, you are a very unconventional DGP. Unconventional GDP, beg your pardon, Freudian slip. I ended up talking about the GDP, but, you know, unconventional DGP.
In the office with open this tie and not meeting anybody and just signing files. I am Janta ka DGP. Try to understand. And I have been like this throughout my career. For last 34 years, where I have been SP in more than 8 districts to try to find out what was my style of functioning. This is my style of function. I have been doing like this. I have done whatever I have done. Registering case was not illegal. Sending team was not illegal. Referring to CBI was not illegal. And this has been upheld by Honorable Supreme Court. So don't no debate. Now you say why I was so much vocal. I was so much emotional. Why I was shouting. Why I was fighting. There's a reason behind it. Because they misbehaved with my officer, then I'm calling to, the first day when I reached over there after Sushant, I tried to contact the police commissioner. I sent SMS to him. I tried to, he's not responding. DGP is not responding. My
yes, Mr. Pandey, we are aware.
Then I told that this is unethical. Then I opened a morcha against.
We understand the point. You have exercised your.
So what illegal?
You have communicated this also very openly, but Mr. Pandey, the point is different. What next? See, justice has not been delivered to Sushant Singh Rajput. Why did you take voluntary retirement? You could have been the head of this police force.
A lot of statements are coming.
What exactly do you plan to do from here on? I mean, you are popular. You have music videos being made on you. Elections are coming in Bihar.
No. I'll answer both the questions. Why did I resign? So, see, elections are at hand any day. Code of conduct can be announced. Now, see, in last 34 years, most of the time I have been in field. Most of the time, as SP, as DIG, as IG, I have conducted all the elections in last 34 years in Bihar. And nobody has, raised any finger on me, irrespective of political party. I have served under 6 DGP, Chief Minister. Mr. Jagannath Mishra was there, Mr. Lalu Prasad was there, Mr. Rabdi Jadhav was there, then again Mr. Nitish Kumar, Maji Sahab, then again Mr. Nitish Kumar. Irrespective of party, politics, nobody has raised any finger on my impartiality. And now people are, kind of comments are
what
coming.
What do you plan to do next, Mr. Pandey?
I'll talk to my people. I'm son of soil. I belong to Buxar. I'm a man of public, basically. I'll talk to my people. I'll tell them I want to
I'm
what
getting
capacity they want.
Janta ka DGP will speak to people, my people of Buxar. Robin Hood DGP sounds a lot like a politician right now. Is this a correct assessment?
Out there are only 38 districts, and I have served more than 25 districts of Bihar.
Lost that the most
so my
crucial.
People
okay, yes. Mr. Pandey is back.
And what harm if I join politics?
Mr. Pandey, when you use words like my people of Buxar, I'm a people's DGP, it's good. It's very nice to have a human interface to the police force, but it is sounding eerily similar to a politician. Do we see politician Robin Hood Pandey?
Well, Robin Hood, people, I don't have to do with that CD and that song. Some of my fans must have made it. And I must tell you one thing. I have been always doing policing. And I am known for that from very beginning. Whether it is Begusara, Jahanabad, whatever, let people decide. And there's no harm even if I decide to join politics. What do you harm? Is it unconstitutional, ethical, unethical, or illegal? What is harm if I decide to join politics?
Sure.
I'm asking you one. What is harm? Why you connect my VRS to Sushant case? Why
no, there's absolutely nothing wrong. If you ask me, there's nothing wrong.
Is it unethical?
All right, Mr. Pandey, you've not answered my question, but I mean, by the look of it, by the sound of it, it's very clear that we won't have to wait very long to know your next course of action. It's very clear. I have not
decided whether I'll join politics or not. I may join, may not. My people will decide. But I must make one thing clear to you, that I'll remain in public service somehow. Thank you.
All right, Mr. Pandey, thank you so much for joining us right here on Trending Tonight. We're stopping for a short break at this moment, and we'll carry on the discussion on the other side. We'll be joined in by a few guests, and we'll go back to the original story where we started. What is and how exactly should this case be read? Summoning of A-listers in Bollywood. Is this really a drug cleanup? Really a drug cleanup? Or a deflection strategy? How should this be seen? We'll be back after a short break.